So, I'm not going to go over stuff like badges because I'm assuming if you've clicked on this, you know what bear is. Um, this is called chromophobia, and I'll be putting some random gameplay on screen. And after that, I'm going to be playing the playable version of the story. So, without further ado, Chapter 1. If you were around in the bear community during 2020, you probably remember that back then the updates weren't that big. Usually just skins in the shop, a map, and maybe badges, which wasn't too bad since it entertained us during that time. It was a totally different time since there weren't things like fan games, and those that existed weren't of such high quality, but that won't be relevant here. Updates were small because at the same time Cheetah Man was making Bear 2, which would later be renamed to Bear Star, and so the content was somewhat limited. I don't think that's bad because there wasn't much to do with that game at the time without ruining its formula. Shortly before Bear Star began production on January 3rd, 2020, a subplace titled That was added, which somewhat mirrored the patterns of existing subplaces, following a horror style, a bit different from Sam's Resting Place or Shawarma. This place consisted of a corridor with two doors, leading to two subplaces titled This Is Was My Friends and This Is Was My Home, and you probably know the rest. Therefore, Chad intended to make more places with horror elements in the future. Eventually, he thought about it during the beloved 4-week update, which I guess was made as a farewell to Bear Alpha and a welcome to Bear Star, bringing new content that was already anticipated, mainly because of the Bear Archive, and in the fourth and final week, bringing back previous content such as the Halloween skins and Mystic, along with two new badges, the Funny and That. The second badge was the one that gave the first and only variant of Atrocity, a Ferocity, and the first was supposedly a joke badge. Well, that's what they said, but it is not true. For the fourth week, Chad and Crouton decided that they would make two badges, one directed by Ched and the other directed by Crouton. Crouton was responsible for the Ferocity badge, and Ched for the Funny. Both were finished, but only one was released, and I'll explain everything now. It all started on July 23rd, 2020, a day after the badges were created. The testing team wasn't very large, and the devs needed just a few more because we wanted opinions from various types of players about the quests, since they were experimental. I was one of those selected because I was friends with one of the testers. The Cheetah Men preferred to invite contributors and friends of existing testers, considering their tendency to be more trustworthy. Well, at approximately 11:50 p.m. that day, my friend sent me a message asking if I wanted to join. I was very excited considering my obsession with Bear at the time. It was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. I was invited to the server, and there were links to two places. I will also show screenshots I managed to recover from my old computer. St. Samuel, bonus track. The first one was the Ferocity quest, what we all know, but the second one was interesting to say the least. It started with another quest, in this case, the bonus track quest. I went up normally until the part where we needed to type 28, 06, 19 in the normal game. It seems quite unfinished, and that's because what came after was completely discarded. Originally, after typing in the code, you would go to a place called Crouton's Theory, which was later used as a punishment for those who leaked the Ferocity badge, but I'll explain more later. Save away. The place started in a completely black and white area with extremely saturated colors and strange background sounds, like a mix of slowed down screams with sirens and whatever it was. I got a huge shock because it definitely wasn't what I was expecting. No quest up to this point resembled what was there. I mean, some did, but at least those sounds weren't something very normal to see in the game. There was a giant corridor ahead that I obviously needed to follow. It seemed endless. It took about 5 minutes to reach the end. Ironic if you know how the Ferocity quest was, but I made it. It wasn't very comfortable at all, since by that point it was already midnight and I was alone at my house. At the end, there was a black orb that teleported you to another place. I touched it, and my screen went black. I'm almost certain I saw something flash on my screen before being teleported. It was a puffle I'd never seen before. It was gray and had a small smile on the right side of its face, with its eyes turned upwards. I wonder if it was a new character, since it hadn't been long since they started adding puffles to the game. And since they added Woody in the Christmas update and Lagoon in the Mallbear update, I thought that every few months there would be a new puffle and some random update, so I was kind of excited to see the new character. The day of Monochrome. The black orb led to Monochrome. This map had a blue tone, and something interesting I noticed was that many passages were blocked. Plus, I was on R6, but my character had no animations and simply remained motionless. I decided to wander around the map a bit. I didn't find anything very interesting, apart from the fact NPCs were a bit different. I can't explain it very well, but, for example, from a distance you could see that some of them had creepy faces and started to stare at you depending on the direction you were. They'd also disappear if you got close. Then, I went to the last place I hadn't been to yet, the house. Okay, I remember there being NPCs inside. Not sure if they're all dead in the original, but at least here they were. But I don't remember the TV having a creature on it. It was a white bear skin with no ears and a black hole on its face, being very skinny and distorted too. Also, the TV screen was green and blood red instead of being white and light red. I can't lie, I kinda liked the skin and thought it was the reward for the badge to match the atmosphere quite well up to that point. It was possible to click on the TV just like on the original map, but when I clicked it, the screen went black again. This time, Sam and Woody appeared. Sam was missing his legs because they were slightly faded. He was pale and had larger, completely black eyes. Woody was just a little darker and missing his eyes as well. Okay, this was getting weirder. What happened to Sam and Woody? Who was that other guy? Did he trap Sam and Woody in their pits and are they already dead? Was this some kind of a nightmare for the player for not saving them? My theorist mind is working overtime, since what we knew best at the time was theorizing about everything, even skin descriptions. Although I found it interesting, I was becoming very uncomfortable. Save our souls. SOS. The next phase was SOS. More specifically, the corridor where you get the keywords to the unwell skin. The difference was that it was much longer than normal and almost a maze, but the biggest difference I found right after the initial part. When I found it, I pissed my pants. Suddenly, a bear who looked like Yoshi from Death Forest appeared from the black door, screaming, and dashed to the wall before disappearing. I remember seeing the same bear in the Bear Archive, but it was still unexpected. There were more doors scattered throughout the labyrinth, and every time, the bear would always come out with its deafening scream, passing by very quickly and then crashing into the wall. He only dashed if you were too close to the doors, so it was recommended to wait behind those pillars every time you were about to pass, just to be safe. He wouldn't come out of some doors, so I realized he only came out of them when a red light shone across the map, like in the image. When I got to the end, I found the orb that takes you back to the map, just like in the original. Both sides were blocked, so there weren't many options. Again, the screen went black. This time I heard a voice that sounded like Sam's or Shao Kahn, saying that was pathetic. What did he mean? Who was that? Both Sam and Woody had similar voices, so maybe it could be that other Puffle speaking. It was all really scaring me. Well, I was much of a coward when I was 13. In the sewage. SDTG9. The next map was Sewage Domain. We started in the area we put the color code. The most noticeable difference was that the map was painted black, and it was very well lit inside. I figured the objective was to get out of here, so I started looking for the exit. It was a little difficult because I never completely memorized this map. Along the way, I found some more changes, like most of the object textures being swapped along with the colors. Well, when I got to the infamous Sam was here part, instead of the writing, there was the face of the NPCs I saw from Monochrome. After a bit of effort, I managed to get out of there and noticed noticed that the entrance to Cheese Corporation was closed, but the doors were neon and white. I deducted that I should go in. As expected, the screen went black. This time, it appeared to be text on the screen with one of Bob's eyes. Just end him, no matter what. This lasted for 10 seconds, so I managed to screenshot it. Well, I imagined I was going after someone. I immediately thought of that Puffle. Could it be that my theory was right, and I'm taking charge of taking him down? Well, if that was the case... Cheese Corp. As I imagined, the next segment was the Cheese Corporation map. It seemed darker than the other maps, and, to tell the truth, I didn't see many changes compared to the original submission. Just like in the original place, it was possible to find a way out. It didn't take too long for me to find it. Without many options, I decided to use the ladder to climb onto the top of the corporation, where there was a duct. I don't remember exactly where it led in the original map, but here it was longer and went straight. It led outside the map's limits, and when I reached the end, I was at the cheese factory map. It was surprising. The factory. Nowadays, this wouldn't be so impressive since Cheese Factory returned in 2022. But at the time, they constantly pushed the fact that the map would never come back. It was missing some windows and many objects were missing too, but probably only the transparency was altered because you couldn't go through those places. There were also some invisible parts blocking the passages, so it was like an invisible maze. I didn't find it that difficult because I managed to get out quickly, going to the second floor. I looked to the side and instantly noticed that the spawn street had an entrance. I was surprised again. It took me to Happy Terror. The Terror. The map was almost completely normal. I noticed that things were getting less scary little by little, until I got to that little white house as a secret passage. Since there was no exit, I deducted I'd have to go there. The house to my left was missing, and some bushes were strangely positioned, also painted brown. The secret passage on the original map would lead you to a small stone tunnel that led to another place. In this case, it led to a white wooden place. This place was large, empty room. In front of it was an entirely black bear with a window behind it. One of its parts was also entirely black, but I found that irrelevant. I touched the bear, and it played a distorted loud scream. Then I was teleported again. This time, the black screen showed a frame of Red Robin's skin, accompanied by an SFX. I can't explain, but I recognized it because it's frequently used in horror games for jump scares. Well, I think that meant Red Robin was really Woody's grave, like that stupid theory said. This time, I ended up in a lazy, poorly made version of the lobby, something not used in those. Backtrack. Fuck that up. This time, I ended up in a lazy and poorly made version of the lobby, looking like something used in the game's beta or made for some fan game at the time. Familiar. What scared me was the Madam place. All the Madams had been replaced by weird skins. Nowadays, I think they're actually cool, but at the time I got a bit scared by it. The only one who didn't have anything on its pedestal was Ched. I went there to see if anything would happen, and I was teleported. The black screen showed nothing this time, and when it disappeared, I was in Sam's resting place. He was exactly as I described before, pale, with black eyes and no legs. His orbs had a stone texture. I approached him, and he began to speak. I don't remember much of it besides the first 3 lines since I have a screenshot of them, but I'm pretty sure he said something about avenging him. At that point, I think I already deducted everything. That Puff was the one who trapped Sam and Woody in their pits. The puzzle pieces were probably being connected by him indirectly, and when we got the bonus track, we gave him full power. We must have created all those weird skins. just like Lagoon created Malbear and Vector? Or were we being controlled by him all this time to collect the pieces? I wasn't sure, but I was probably right somehow this time. When Sam finished his dialogue, I was teleported one last time. This time it was the Christmas map, a simplified version of Arctic Valley. The map's colors were brown and had a snowball launcher. The hell? Did this mean I was gonna fight that Puffle? And yes, I was right. I think that map was a placeholder since I didn't see any sense in fighting a Puffle in Arctic Valley. The gameplay was very similar to the original map, and the same attacks as Santa Sam, same mechanics, basically everything. It was practically a reskin, but with a Puffle. Again, probably a placeholder. It had 750 health in total, so it wasn't that difficult to kill. And that's what surprised me. The boss fights weren't frequent in this game. In fact, the only one up to that point was the Santa Sam fight. I really longed for another boss fight, and, well, despite the atmosphere being a little unsettling, I confessed I enjoyed it. After struggling for a while, I finally managed to defeat him, and, as I expected, he died just like Santa Sam died in his boss fight. The only problem was that the sound was a high-pitched scream, loud enough to burst your eardrums, and it didn't stop for about half a minute. I had to lower the volume because it was almost 1 a.m. When the sound stopped, the screen went dark, and a text had appeared. That, again, I don't remember very well because it was a rather long text, but I'm almost certain it talked about how everything was already over and there was nothing left to do. The screen was accompanied by several weird sounds, and I think people were crying, and after a while that one Puffle appeared in the darkness, with the caption, "The End," underneath. Epilogue. Okay, what the hell was that? I couldn't sleep because I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I think my friend had the same reaction. The next day, Ched revealed that he wanted to focus on Bear Star, which was previously called Bear 2, and he wanted to end the lore right there. Kinda rushed in my opinion. Well, even though the content was considered disturbing, nobody objected to him releasing it, and he went ahead, created the places for the 2 badges, and then uploaded the funny. But soon after, he thought it was too early to reveal that this was the final piece, so he quickly removed it. Very few people noticed the change during the brief 5 minutes of existence. One of them was the YouTuber Arthur Station, who commented on how he remembered seeing a badge that disappeared soon after, and he never knew where it went. But let me tell you, have you seen this one image? Well, now you know its context. This was the list of maps that Ched wanted to use, starting post 4 week. Some would come in future updates as normal maps, and the others were just stages of the funny badge. This image accidentally spread on a server focused on hunting in-game badges. Meanwhile, testers tried to cover it up, claiming that it wasn't official, leading to many believing that it wasn't really true, just a joke, so the case faded into oblivion. But not everyone was convinced so easily, so some started using exploits to see what was in New Crouton's theory place, which, by that point, had already been implemented, but under a different name. They soon discovered everything. Ched had no choice but to cancel the quest due to leaks. Then it was spread that the funny was a bait badge to distract from that badge. Well, soon after, Crouton's theory was recreated and used to punish those who leaked the ferocity. The case was completely hushed up. Ched also realized that the ending wasn't what he wanted, so the badge was completely discarded. However, some things there were used later. For example, the Yeoman Null boss fight, as it was made using the Grey Puffle boss as a base. Some of those badges' plot was kinda reused in future updates involving Lagoon, like the lore update in 2023 and the Vector update in 2024. Another notable case is that on July 30th, 2020, just a few days after the cancellation, Test Gaming 9 updated the archive and used the quest as a basis for the content there. This update consisted of a new place that was the same archive but with several changes. Some references to the quest are notable in this update, especially the absence of Sam, the Bear Yoshi, and also the allusion to Red Robin. Those screenshots were taken by my friend of mine at the time. Another interesting case is vector validation, where the quest is very similar to the funny, having to go through several maps of the game and reaching a boss at the end, which, in the case of vector validation, isn't exactly a boss, but still. Some skins in the quest were later used for future situations. The Yoshi Bear is going to be used in the third phase of ARG. Bears that were in the place of the Madens were used in Tea Time, Grandmaster Final Place, and the Sam from this quest that was released as a skin Bear Star called Agonized. But I've always been curious about that damn Puffle. What did it mean? Who was it? Chad didn't explain it, even to the testers, and simply kept the matter quiet for a long time. The only thing I managed to find out about it was that it was actually a purple Puffle, but with the colors altered. That's why it was gray. Till recently, Chad announced a solo Witty game called Skangland. In fact, he had been promising this game since 2021, at the launch of Bear's first April Fool's game. I found it funny initially, but then on April 1st, 2025, he posted the game's trailer. When I opened it, I saw the two protagonists of the game. One of them was Witty, and the other one, well, it was him. That damn Puffle. Okay, so that took me like an hour to do. How many voice cracks I have?
Skip.
Overall, I mean,
Yeah.
it's somewhat believable. This seems like something Cheetah Man would do, but at the same time, this is not at all creepy. Like, maybe it's just the subject matter. I don't think it could ever turn Bear
This is
into
not
something
my
that's
avatar.
actually really scary. It's probably just that. This was made by
So just suck at this game, man.
Roto,
So
and he's also put here
I guess it's Cheetah Man,
version,
right?
which
Yeah.
I'll be playing
Okay.
in a bit. Actually, probably
So
right
what's
now.
What's up? What's it? Alright. Easy. I actually have to enter the code. Wait, what's the code? I'm actually gonna have to check now because I don't know. Uh. Oh. Okay, well, I found the code. Oh, this is the 5-minute walk, isn't it? What's that? It's like spinning, dude. What is that? Is that a portal? Yes, it is. Oh, well, there's that Puffle. Oh my god, they're actually all staring at me. There's anguish. Oh. I'm in a bro. Okay. Now this. I remember. Okay. Dude! Am I an idiot? Bro, what? Okay, I don't memorize. I didn't memorize this map either. Ew. Do I touch you? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just go for it. No, not you. So easy to purposely make love sound. Okay, well, hopefully this is where I'm supposed to go. Finally. Do I get an item? Get a lantern? This wasn't in it. Do not enter when lamp is on. Why not? Rob. Okay, I think she's on top of you, right? Oh, this is not the foundation, is it? Why am I getting notifications?
His eyes? Why do his eyes pop off? Oh my god, Chad, you sleepy. Oh my god, he's such a good boy. Oh, he's tiny. Oh, he's tiny. He's 4.5 inches. I mean, he's huge.
Okay. I guess, bro. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Oh, you're the duct. Oh yeah, I'm in Cheese Factory. Okay. One of these windows is cracked, right? Yeah, one of these windows are cracked, I remember. It's this one. Yes! Yes. Now I'm in Happy Terror. Okay. I need to go to the White House, I think? Yeah, over there, where the bushes are brown. What the? Touch the bear, right? Okay. The loud noise kinda got me, but not that. These things look creepy. Sorry for touching you, Cheetah Man. Do Dude, seeing Agonize with like the rusty orbs instead of like the glowing ones actually get creepy. Because I can't move. You're rotting in hell, and my friend is dead. If you really want to do something, kill him. Do it for us. Yes, Sam. Oh, okay, boss fight. The bosses in this game. Oh, how to sprint? Ooh. It's lagging my game. Okay, there, I put something. Ooh. Stop that. It's a key line. Why's that take damage? Oh. Come on. That was so loud. It was alright.